All the dogs are in there quiet over now. So we can actually talk and move off a little bit now because he actually for some reason.
It's easier to edit. I don't have to put now the music ends and we can talk.
Okay, so now you want to talk.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Nub Podcast. We've got a special one tonight, actually, or today, or whatever time you're listening to it, in the morning, probably, with your coffee. I don't know. Do you know we're up to 24, I think, people like listening?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was pretty excited by
Subscribers.
that. Yeah.
You know why?
I was pretty... Oh, are they all friends of yours?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Elise started pimping the podcast at work, and a couple people started listening to it.
Oh, well, that's
they
what
all
we needed,
said
then.
it was great.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even shitting you. They were like, one guy he listens to a lot of podcasts.
Well, your girlfriend is a beautiful woman, so they're going to tell her it's great, but really they're just like, I just want to talk to you.
No, because he specifically said, man, the Felton and the Merce, they're great characters. I like listening to them.
I'm sure that's exactly what they said.
They did.
All right, so today it's a little different. We're actually doing an interview today with my father and his good friend who put on the Haunted History Tour every year. And I figured it's Halloween. I'm already involved in the Haunted History Tour. We've been pimping it on the Nerd Facebook page, so we might as well have them come in and
abuse
talk
us.
about it. Exactly.
There you go.
So why don't you guys kind of introduce yourselves and you don't have to give us any specifics, but kind of give a general idea of what you do when you're not doing the Haunted History Tour, okay?
Okay, I'm George Galliano.
Oh, wait.
No names.
Yeah, don't do last names, but we can edit that out. That's fine.
Okay, sorry about that. I am George, and I'm kind of like the brain master of the Haunted History Tour. I kind of take directing as my main role, and I have lots of other friends and family like Rick that helps me put this monstrosity together. We kind of like build all kinds of stuff on the fly and try to make people scared and have a good time doing it.
Well, what do you do when you're not doing the Haunted History Tour?
I work for a company where I can steal all the parts I need to make the Haunted History Tour.
That's the best kind of job.
Yes,
Brilliant.
I work for an electronics company. I'm supposed to be analyzing chips and stuff, all the stuff that makes all this technology these days go. But the fun part is I get to every once in a while work on some equipment. And when stuff goes bad, I get to tear it apart and keep the parts.
I like it.
So
Nice.
It's cool.
Myself, Rick, electrician outside of the haunts.
Now speak up. Make sure you enunciate.
Yes.
Haunts.
Haunts.
Outside of the haunts.
Yes. I just love scaring people.
Just love scaring people.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
So
My kids will tell you.
So
Good
basically,
pastime.
George is basically the brains behind the Haunted History Tour. He's the one that came up with the idea, and I mean I remember growing up as a child and you doing all this kind of stuff. So really, since I was like 4, really, as far as I can, I'm not sure if that's accurate, but
Well, I think you were still in diapers when we were dragging you down to Grant.
well, I'm still in diapers now. So,
Well, you just got to stop drinking at night, though. That's probably what.
so what made you start all this?
I had this crazy Dutch aunt who married this guy after her husband died.
Sorry.
And he came over one time when we were visiting, when I was still like a very young teenager, with one of these, what do they call it, electroshock therapy things from the early 1900s.
Okay.
As a cauterizer,
All right.
along with the little neon tubes and all that stuff.
The story's getting really interesting.
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
you
Sounds
proceeded-
like it's gonna
he
turn into
proceeded
a
to
dungeon
plug it in
story.
and grab a hold of the ball and shock the living shit out of me. So I took it home and said, wow, that was a nice gift to give a kid like me. So I got a styrofoam head, shoved a couple bolts in it, whipped the Frankenstein mask on it, and for Halloween I'd have a cardboard box and have him in the window getting zapped.
That's
So that was
awesome.
kind of like the very beginnings of all this nonsense.
That's awesome.
And then
So
we
it
kind of
grew.
went on to
And it
doing
grew.
somebody's house
And it
and
grew.
getting a little bigger and a little bigger.
And bigger.
Yeah, I remember there was
And
for a
bigger.
long time it was in Grant,
Right.
and that was that's a good portion of my childhood actually was spent in Grant during the Halloween time, during the October month really, and probably a little before that. You guys building sets and stuff in there. Now, what a lot of people may not know is that the Haunted History Tour is primarily, well, not primarily, but a good portion of it is actually animatronic. It's not like people just jumping out and scaring you and everything like that. So, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about that? Like, what is it? Why don't you explain to us what the actual concept of the Haunted History Tour is?
Okay, I'll date myself for you guys here. If anybody knows what an e-ticket is at Disney World, I had way too much time and way too many e-tickets and went through the Haunted Mansion way too many times. So I kind of got an affinity the way Disney did things, where it was scary, but it was more or less artistic and awesome. So my buddy Rick helps me put this thing together and have a heck of a time with it.
Yeah, it's cool because it's
movies.
Well, it's a family-friendly event too. It's not something that
Wait a minute, how'd you
to-
get so many e-passes? That's what I want to know, because I was stuck to like one at a
Little
damn
bitty
time.
tents that are all different areas. Remember the
Well,
little places
you had to
run?
trade a whole bunch of C's
Yes.
and D's to somebody with little kids, and they'd give you their leftover e-tickets.
The tickets for the Dumbo rides.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, it helped having somebody whose dad worked at Hallmark, and you just kind of like walked into the middle of Main Street with a fistful of tickets and just went. That was kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. So, where do you guys get your inspiration for the Haunted History Tour? Like, where does that come from?
Well, that was the main part of it was the Disney Haunted Mansion. A lot of it just came from playing around and seeing what other haunted houses did, and then slowly trying to get some kind of, theatrical presentation where it's not just, a couple of scary things here or there, where we actually develop a script and, it's a storyline with beautiful artwork and animatronics and things going on that are interesting besides scary. Because anybody can throw some really dead bodies and chase you around the yard with a chainsaw. We try to, notch it up a little bit from that as far as being a show.
Yeah, and it does come off as a show too. Like the fact that there are the tour guides who kind of bring you through the experience, and they're kind of along with you for the ride. They're kind of they're your lifeline as you go through. But at the same time, I know that I'm one of the tour guides, and when I go through, I kind of make it a little bit fun, a little bit interactive. We'll talk to some of the actors that do the scares and such, or kind of point out some of the creatures and their names and such. So it has a little bit more of a there's a lot more interaction with it. It's not just you go through on your own and crap jumps out and scares the shit out of you, and then you just keep moving to the next room hoping that it's going to end soon. Ours is more like, hey, stop for a minute. Like, look at this. Did you see that?
Well, Rick can tell you about our humor a little bit. I mean, I take advantage of Rick every year because he's like my soulmate as far as understanding putting this together. But Rick, tell them what you do to help this out as far as like everybody ended up with a name in there.
I'm just trying to think.
Well, I mean, we got...
when every character has a name.
when Rick and I start building this thing,
everything has a name.
Yeah, we're walking by.
Every skeleton has a name.
Here's Bones.
Every little screw, I think, that goes in has a name.
That is a level of
We
detail.
have a name for everything.
Do you guys have
every little
Philip over
staple has a name.
Slot.
Yep.
Oh yeah, everything. And the thing is, we remember it
Twisted.
every year.
Well, going with that whole name thing, something that people that even go through the Haunted History Tour don't really know this. There's actually a skeleton theme throughout the Haunted History Tour. Tell us a little bit about the skeleton theme. Like, what is the story behind that? I know that there's some names for the skeletons. There's some,
We keep saying that we want to make a little contest at the end of the thing. How many skeletons did you see? And then win the prize or whatever prize it may be. But I don't think we'll ever win. Got so many of them.
There's a lot
Little
of
ones,
skeletons.
big ones.
Some the size of your head, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of like the name speaks to. It's kind of a history of haunting, So, you end up doing archiving and going through. You're finding bones and dead body parts, and skeletons is the main thing that you're looking. So, history and death, and it just seems to fit well with skeletons.
Absolutely. Makes sense. So, about how long, because you guys do this every year,
Every year.
about how long does it take to set this up?
Well, this
6
year-
to 8 weeks. It depends of Mother Nature.
I was going to say, this year
Mother
you guys,
Nature.
this year a good portion was destroyed by the hurricane.
Yeah,
You
it
guys
put
had
us
to
back
rebuild.
about 2 weeks. We would have, if it weren't for Matthew,
Yeah.
we would have been able to kick back and relax for about, I wouldn't say relax,
A
but
week and a half.
I was
a
about
week and
to
a
say,
half
it looked
to
like
kick back,
it's
you
no
know?
small miracle. Like I'm looking around and looking at all the intricate things. I'm looking at all this
Yeah.
going,
And the year before
holy
last,
crap! Like how did this all get up within in the manner of time?
Oh yeah.
That
And the year before last, we had all the thunderstorms and lightning was
Mhm.
just.
Yeah. Nothing more fun than hanging on the metal pipes over all our rigging and hearing lightning crack
Within
about.
20 feet away from
Yeah.
you, we're like,
Okay,
we're
Rick,
done.
it's time to go in.
I personally love lightning
Yeah,
shows.
this time we didn't have a
Yeah,
whole lot.
until
I
you're
love-
out in the lightning show holding a
Yeah.
piece of
Yeah.
metal, right? And then it's
True.
like it's a little different.
Thunderbolts and lightning.
I've actually
So-
seen what happens when lightning hits the beach
Yeah.
and there's seagulls on the beach. Their heads pop off.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe it. It was pretty intense.
So now the Haunted History Tour is a family affair, correct? Like a
Oh,
good
yeah.
portion of the people involved are either related or have become related over
Extended family.
exactly.
They become
Um,
family, yes.
So with each year, I find that we've introduced new people kind of to the Haunted History Tour. Like this year, actually, Felton and his girlfriend have come out and been helping us out with his Beetlejuice cosplay, and Liddy, which by the way. Her like I saw your Beetlejuice. I was like, that's amazing. But then I saw that your girl was dressed as Liddy, and I was like, holy crap, that's Liddy! Like I saw her the bangs. Like at first I was ignoring her because I was like all focused on you because Beetlejuice is a big bright character.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I looked at her for a minute. I was like, wait a minute, she's actually Liddy, and she pulled it off great.
When I saw him, I was Calypso.
Mm-hmm.
I turned around, he's just all peaceful and quiet.
Yep.
Startled the boogers out of me. Holy crap. For the only words that came out of my mouth was Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm about to poop my pants.
Was that 3 times?
I know, but I'm about to crap my pants
Give
saying
me
that.
a handful of cockroaches, quick.
Oh, I got some. I went to Spirit.
Yeah, I went with him actually.
Oh, I actually have.
It was
a,
one of our Halloween dates actually.
Yeah, I actually have
Hold
an
this for me.
animatronic hand now that wiggles its fingers.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
when we go to take pictures of people, I'm going to hand it to them, turn it on. Here, hold this for me for a second.
I was telling David, I might be able to build that hat with all the stuff spinning around.
Yeah, I was
Step right up.
Exactly.
Take a swing.
So, now, Rick, you've basically been adopted by our family, especially
Yeah, especially by your grandmother.
Oh yes.
Yeah, she's
So-
mom.
So during the Haunted History Tour, like, how much time do you actually spend at our house? At the house, like?
Actually, I think my wife kind of enjoys it. It gives her a
Probably.
vacation.
She looks forward to it every year. She's like,
Oh,
oh my
yeah.
god.
Oh, isn't it almost October? Where? What are you doing?
It's like,
Why are you here?
It's July, honey. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, why are you at the house still?
We usually start during like Monday to Friday. Rick and I both get home about the same time, so it's like 4 to 7:30 or 8.
Usually about 4 to
Depending on the
8.
mosquitoes and our workload.
And then the weekends is from
Weekends.
8 to 8, 12
Yeah,
hour
8
days,
days,
Saturdays
12-hour
and
day.
Sundays.
But we usually save the big stuff for the weekend,
Yes.
so we
Yeah.
can just knock out a big set
The
install.
stuff that doesn't kill you by the mosquitoes.
Yeah. Well, now this year, we've been introducing a lot of new people to it. Well, we always introduce a lot of new people to the Haunted History Tour, which is awesome. But I've been getting a lot of great response to Jurassic Park.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
Dino Land.
Yes. So, first off, I want to know, like, where'd you get the idea for? I mean, obviously, Jurassic Park, blah, duh.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the actual. I don't want to give any spoilers for those who haven't gone through yet. But when the scare that's there, like, what brought that about? Was it just like, we need to have a scare here. It can't just look cool. You
it
have
was-
to actually do something.
We
No,
for it.
came
it
up
was-
with different theories and
Yeah.
different ideas how to do it, and then
I'm glad that's not some. I'm just glad it's not some guy. I'm glad it's not some guy with the raptor head on, just like running around like ah.
That's
was-
where we were going.
Yes.
The,
The
mother
origin.
of necessity,
and then all of a sudden with the pneumatics, we're trying to figure
we
something
had our
out.
next door neighbor with a 12-pack sitting back with
Yeah.
his friend, shoving the head out with his hand every once in a while and going, grrr.
Oh yeah, now it's
So-
well for as long as I've known, it's actually like a real scare. It has a noise and
Yeah.
everything. It comes out and it's an animatronic, just like a lot of the things there. So and it's one of the things that's cool for me because I'm a tour guide and it's one of the few things I actually get to do to scare people. So
Yep,
it's
yep.
actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
I love it. So let's why don't you guys each tell us like one of your favorite scares that you can remember from the Haunted History Tour? Like like what was the one that you almost pissed yourself laughing at the because keep in mind when you go through the Haunted History Tour, for those people that haven't gone through yet, there's actually cameras in the haunted history tour, so we can kind of we can do crowd control. We know when to scare people.
That's
and
my
you catch,
spot.
And we catch. I wish they recorded, but you catch some of the best scares from
Oh,
people.
geez.
So
Yes, we'll state this disclaimer now. There is no disk drive in our DVR. We only use it for monitoring.
We did one time,
We had one
and it
once.
happened with an incident
That was scary because I got to see it too. Was
Yeah.
a gentleman in line saw the camera and decided to expose his wife's breasticles.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God.
Oh, yes.
Camera.
oh my God, how did I miss that one?
and
We unfortunately we don't have that DVR
No.
anymore, so it's like.
but the best part is I get to see everything that goes on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get to see all the breasticles.
I get to see all the breasticles.
Rick gets to see all the breasticles.
Yes,
There you
yes,
go.
and all the
I'm stuck
scares.
in a
And
dark and dank castle.
so that's my favorite spot, and I don't want to give it up. I don't mind letting it take a break here and there, but I won't give that up.
Well, Rick, why don't you go first? What was, especially since you're the eyes on, you actually get to see them
Right.
firsthand. What was
Right.
one of the best scares, or a couple of the best scares you've seen?
I had a few of them. One I like is with Ray.
Mm-hmm.
We
Ray
make
is-
a bet.
Ray is my uncle, my dad's brother-in-law, and he actually is in a section that's the Dawn of the Dead section. It's so he plays like a zombie. Although I guess now he's like a reaper. I don't know, but
He changes once
yeah,
every,
it's
every
a
now
little
and
different.
then.
It's a little different each time, but he's actually one of our big scares. So
We just make a contest on how many people he can make it go through the wall.
Yes.
Or break
Yeah.
the wall. This time we kind of took care of that. We got tired of fixing the wall.
mm-hmm.
So we put some objects in front of that area so people won't go through the wall.
It's still gonna happen. When
Oh,
it's time.
it'll
Sure.
happen every now and then. And then, like I said, Guillotine and Sparky this year ended up going through the wall.
Yes, I remember coming back
That's
after
one
the
of
wall
my
had been.
proud moments right
after
there.
the
That's
wall
one of
had been
my.
slanting.
It doesn't
That's
happen
a
that
little bit
often.
weirder of an angle than it was
Yeah.
before because it's a weird angle to start with.
And it usually doesn't happen in that corner because
Yeah.
for some reason, yes, they do get scared, but not in that direction.
Yes.
This one's happened to get scared and they ran back to the entrance instead of going in, you know? So,
Yeah, that's another little trivia thing that we try to do. There's some religious commands of haunting where you don't scare people backwards because it can be dangerous.
Exactly.
So a lot of what we set up, we try to set up to be safe, not just scary and.
Well, it's set up smartly, you know.
Smart,
Like
yes.
even the angles of the scares, the angles of when you're coming through, they're set up so you have a big space to kind of move back a little bit if you feel the
we
need to.
want them going
But
forward.
most people like I have the tour guides make sure they go a little ahead so that they want to come towards us because
Right.
we're the safety net. So they want to come towards us because we're the safe spot. But
I thought that was going to go a completely different direction.
Oh, yeah?
I'm ready to hear like some type of history thing. There's a religious thing to scares. I'm like, what?
Well,
You don't
it
go
started back
backwards
in the day.
because
Yeah, it started back
of
in the
some
day.
type of like biblical reference, and I'm like, oh,
Ancient-
this is interesting.
It's on the internet, the Bible of haunting. That's
Oh,
ancient
this is
Aztec
great.
ancient
Yeah.
Aztec beliefs.
I'm gonna learn something about history. This is interesting. My
Moving
mind just
forward.
Now, Dad, you don't actually get a chance to do much scaring because you're. But
Yeah.
I know you have scared the crap out of a couple people because you had that
Oh,
creepy
yeah.
mask on and stuff like that. So, what about you? What's like one of your all-time favorite scares?
People just be staring at Frank doing his thing, and I hit some high voltage, and they start getting really jittery because it's very loud and very large amounts of high voltage.
Mm-hmm.
Then they kind of look over at me, and I'm just kind of minding my own business, and I will get very close to them all of a sudden, and they kind of don't know what to think.
Yeah.
Because the way my mask fits, I'm toward Johnstone. If you know who he was one of the original actors, a wrestler
Mhm.
for Igor. Was it Igor? I don't know.
Daniel Radcliff.
Yeah, this is
Let me drain the cyst on your back real quick.
20s.
Oh.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Ugh.
You almost died from that one.
Ooh, it
that's
tasted
that's
bad.
karma is what that is.
What?
Yeah, it was.
Oh God, that was just disgusting. So, all right, for me, being a tour guide, I get to see a lot of the scares, and that's fantastic. And for me, one of my favorite scares was actually a group of young girls who were
they're so
scared.
much fun.
Oh, those are the best.
Were they Japanese?
No, they weren't. They weren't.
Oh.
No, I won't tell that. I won't say their ethnicity because I, just don't want that kind of.
I was
that
gonna say
kind
if
of
they were, they
problem.
rip out swords and then it'd show.
No, it wasn't like that at all.
It's like every anime though.
No sushi.
There was no sushi. There's no little schoolgirl outfits. Whatever fantasy that you're making up right now.
They got into a
Wow.
giant robot and fought you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Whatever weird freaky fantasies you're going for, like the fart fetish thing from the ABCs of Death.
That's
like,
not my
yeah.
thing.
It's-
I don't watch fart fetish
You're the
videos.
one who's YouTubing it. You're the one that now
No,
all
it
your
was
YouTube,
one joke.
all your YouTube stuff comes
It
up
was
now.
one joke.
So
forever now.
We have had people break wind, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I peed myself.
I was bringing this group of young ladies through the Haunted History Tour, and they were from the beginning holding on to each other like for dear life. It was fantastic. They were moving as a unit, and they almost lost their shit when we went through the part with the guillotine. They almost lost their shit when we went through the part with the electricity. They almost lost their shit when we went through the part with the zombies. And then you go on later, and it's a little more adventure. There's not as much scaring and things like that.
It's a little bit more relaxing.
Then we hit the werewolf part, and my baby brother went at them as a werewolf out of nowhere. And I swear, they tried to run to the other half of the house, the other half of the yard. They tried to break through things. They were doing everything they could to get away. I was chasing after them, going, "Please come back! Don't go that way. Follow me over here." It was fantastic. Like, they fell over each other.
They go straight up
and,
horror movie. They run away, but end up getting into even more trouble.
Yes, they ended up getting killed by the axe murderer who was waiting for them. Like,
That's
the
the
whole
one
time.
that said,
"Don't open the door."
Yes.
That's the one that
open the door.
I peed my pants.
Yeah. Oh, I think they more than peed themselves.
No,
I think
that's what
might
they
have
said.
shat
I
themselves.
think I peed
They didn't
my
actually
pants.
make it to the rest of the rest of. I had to take them like through the staff like walkway so I could just get them to the candy and go. Like I was afraid they were going to destroy what was left. Yeah, they.
You know what's funny is the only time I've ever actually made someone crap themselves. They said it outright.
Yeah.
I just shit myself.
Well, at least they were honest with you.
Yeah.
It wasn't like. I mean, honesty is the best policy, really. Like, if you're going to shit
I
yourself,
don't understand how you could think.
Well,
that you peed. I'm making an assumption. I believe I peed myself, but I'm not sure. I've
here's
never
the problem
understood
with
that.
not telling people that you shat yourself is that it makes for a very uncomfortable situation when the smell hits you and they're just kind of standing there and you know that you didn't shit yourself.
That's when
and there's only two people there.
Well, that's the two-person
question. Do farts have lumps?
Yes.
That's the two-person. The two-person shit yourself.
Yeah.
You can't get away with that. But the third person,
you
look over at Steve and you go.
It becomes Russian roulette at that point in time. Like, okay,
you look at David and you go,
yourselves,
"Oh man, Steve! Like, let's see, this guy shit himself." Ooh, yeah.
And of course, Dave is the one that shat himself.
So. Oh well, I was playing
Steve
but,
totally did it. All right.
When in reality, everybody shit themselves.
So if you could do anything for like one of the haunted history tours, like say you had, I wouldn't say unlimited funds because then we'll be here, with knowing you. I mean, this thing would become its own theme
Rent
park.
out a giant empty business.
Walt Disney would have nothing compared to us.
Let's say you had the time to build another set. Like you actually had the time to really sit down and create.
We already talked about
different.
this one.
Well, then
share. It's the first one, very first.
Keeping with the history theme.
Yep.
Now, granted, some of these don't necessarily fall chronologically. We want to do Alien so bad.
Oh,
Alien!
I want to have this little black pussy jump out at you so you can say, "Oh, Jonesy!" So bad. I don't care about the freaking alien and all. I think the stark white hallway, the stark white bright hallway that you'd have to walk through, would be amazing. But okay, so Alien sound, steam. I even figured out how to do that. What is it called? The goo that drips out and
the acidic
acid. Oh, I'm there, man.
Yeah. So just in case anybody ever wondered where I get my nerdiness from, why I have why I'm doing a nerdy podcast and have a nerdy group on Facebook and a nerdy page. It's because my father raised me right on nerddom. So
we need to
nerdology.
We need to make a song, and it's not "I'm Blue."
Hmm?
It's
I'm nerd.
No.
I'm nerd. We're
not gonna fight for dominance during the podcast.
Yeah, we're not gonna. It's not gonna be the dogcast again.
No.
So Joe, do you have any questions while we're got them here?
Not so much a question as it is just kind of a general statement. I love the skeleton with the playing cards. That whole display, I absolutely love that.
Yeah, that would be what we call Scally Hall. Until we looked it up on the Urban Dictionary and realized that
that's something dirty.
So now we're having to call it Ho Hall and hoping nobody else notices
it.
Yeah, that was like almost 100% ripoff of when you come to your little black pod in haunted history.
Yeah, but that's why I loved it so much. You even got it down to the music.
Yes.
Oh, I'm looking at it. I'm like, this is so fantastic.
I take some liberties with how far I can push copyright. We are a church.
Well, I was just saying, we're not getting paid, so we can do whatever the hell we want, really. Like,
right.
We're not making anything out.
Yeah, I think
that's
infringing upon any copies. One of the more cool sets as far as just. I think my parents would not be happy knowing what I did with the organ I was supposed to use. But other than that, it's. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, let me say this too, so that everybody knows. The Haunted History Tour is a completely non-for-profit situation. Basically, what it is, we do have sponsors that will give us money so we can advertise for them on our Facebook page, and we hand out flyers and things for them. And it's if anybody wants to be a sponsor, this year it's late, but I mean we'll still take them. But next year, if you'd like to be a sponsor, it's $50. And it helps out immensely, because this mainly comes out of pocket. It mainly comes out of my dad's pocket, really.
Between Mom, Rick, and I, we're usually in it well over $600-700
every
year.
But
and that's not electric and everything else, and water and.
But all the proceeds that come in, all the people that come through, the tickets are $5 a person, and all the proceeds, every last dime of it, goes directly to whatever organization it is that we are that we're sponsoring that day, or that's represented that day. This last weekend, it was we did one night. We did one night for us to try and recuperate a little bit, especially from Matthew and everything like that. But the other night was for Rising Star Academy, and I believe we made almost $900 that night.
Yes,
it was. It was pretty fantastic.
It was great.
We had a busy night.
And
a lot of people
was that
came
the first night?
That was the second night.
Oh, that was the second
night. The first night
okay, I was going to say.
First night we didn't make a
whole
whole lot.
Sorry. Yeah, no, the second night was fairly busy.
But then this weekend coming up is the Boy Scouts Troop 51. And I believe the American Legion.
Is the next day, yep.
And I think the American Legion is working on doing a new kitchen remodel.
Right. It's their kitchen fund that we donate to.
Yep. So
the Boy Scout Troop 51 is at that same post as the American Legion post.
So they're kind of tied in together a little bit. But all the proceeds that will come in, every single dime, every single penny that comes through that door goes directly to them, to the point where we actually have a representative from their organization there to collect the money. So nobody that works for the Haunted History Tour even touches that money. It doesn't go to us. And then for Halloween, this one I'm really excited and scared out of my friggin' mind for.
Yeah, it could be
Project Suds is who we're doing on Halloween. Now Halloween night is historically a busy night for us already. Now it's going to be a Monday this year, so you would think maybe it would be lower, but I predict that we are going to make over $1,000 that night, just for the simple fact that Project Suds has been advertising the event like crazy.
Oh, really?
They have been on social media every day,
but I also like
every single day.
Project Suds represents too.
Yes, Project Suds. What they do is they actually, for the homeless, they collect homeless veterans. I apologize. Although I'm pretty sure if another homeless person probably came over, they'd be like, "Hey, I don't know."
They will.
But let me see if I'm getting this correct. I know they wash the clothing for them and things like that, and they also.
That's kind of how it started. They'd go out into the woods and find these guys and bring them to a laundromat, and then they'd have somebody there to cut their hair or whatever they needed, check on them. And they've just kept developing to where now they're trying to get them into housing. And last year, Ann, the lady that runs this, and they are out of one of the another American Legion post or Veterans of Foreign War. I'm embarrassing myself not knowing exactly who
it's
they're
okay.
affiliated with, but
it happens a lot on this podcast.
Oh, we're inaccurate on a regular
basis. They got some VFWs
and they got like 4 or 5 of the vets in housing. So
okay, well, that's awesome.
They actually have to cover the
one
securities
of them,
and mortgage and stuff.
Passed away. I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, last
it's
year.
Sad. It was
one of the guys that was there helping us.
Yeah, I liked him too.
He had passed away.
He was a nice gentleman. Yeah,
very nice gentleman.
He was very old though. Too.
Very
he was
old,
an old gentleman, but
extreme.
He
came in and helped a lot in the park.
Living in the woods is not a way to find out that you've got stage 10 cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a month after they got him in because he wasn't doing well. They found out that he was completely involved.
Yeah.
So I mean, he didn't have long after that. It's a shame.
It is a shame, but I mean the organization does some really good work, and all the organizations that we represent are
Boy Scouts is an awesome. That's what actually we started this as a fundraiser.
Yeah, talk about that. How did that come about?
Well, I had Grant was a wonderful place to be. Obvious problem for me living up in Palm Bay is there's a hell of a drive every night going down there for a month and a half.
Well, not just that. I mean, let's go.
Let's the people down there too. To
not just
show
that either. Let's. I mean, this is the podcast. Let's dig in there.
Let me. Okay.
Just so you
got my drawers.
I know you guys couldn't see this, but my dad actually just reached into his pants. So
I'm not sure how
far. I don't know. I don't know how to take this. Very uncomfortable all of a sudden. I feel very weird. No, but I mean, let's discuss what happened at Grant, though. I mean, all of your stuff was in a storage unit there.
Well, that's where I was going. It it was getting to be such a pain to move stuff back and forth from Palm Bay every year. They said, well, we've got this secure storage area. We can put your stuff in there and lock it up. Well, next year I go in there, and we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars worth of electronics.
Of your own money, correct?
My own money and time.
And other people's monies. Because
a full-size Terminator.
Yes.
A functioning full-size Terminator that I built from car parts and cylinders and a stall.
Let me stop
you. Did it actually kill John Connor?
It did, actually.
It did.
Shit.
Yeah, it was the first successful one. Let me stop for a second there and tell you how amazing it was to be a teenager, a small child. I don't know if I was a teenager or a small child, but when he created this thing, because I mean it was just amazing.
Yeah, it was in our living room.
Yes, I mean it stood like what was it like
Dad,
7 foot tall?
Yeah, Dad.
What
are you building, Dad?
I thought it was awesome. My sister.
I'm gonna kill John Connor. Just leave me alone. Don't ask questions.
Skynet got to me.
Yeah.
But I mean the thing, its eyes lit up. It raised its gun, and I mean when it said that its eyes lit up, I meant they lit up like the movie. You know, so like if
nice
you saw,
and slow,
yes,
kind of getting brighter and brighter and brighter.
And then
head
he
dropped down, his mouth opened up,
lift his gun up. You know, it was amazing. So
yeah, that was a crying shame.
Became the governor of California.
It did.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
So, yeah, he didn't actually get stolen. He just kind of left. He was like, you know, I got shit to do.
Hear me now, smell me later.
Yes. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story. So go ahead.
That's all right.
That's how the podcast works here.
No, I mean that was kind of like the end of it. You know, besides the trauma of that, and just even if stuff hadn't gone, I was ending up not only directing, building, but I was also having to do production. You know, getting out there, making my own flyers. You know, I asked grant guys. You know, the community center, they were doing a college fund, is what they were doing. You know, sponsoring the kids. So the least you could do is, get out there and put flyers out. We're down here in Grant,
Do some damn advertising.
Do your own damn advertising.
Yep.
So, we kind of packed up the show, and I think we did 1 year, a really hokey little setup where we actually had Ray in a coffin, having us lay in there and open it up himself. He
had no back problems at all. After
so
that.
Bruised, it was ridiculous, but... Then we just said to heck with it. We had a hurricane come through, and that kind of like said, okay, we're done. And then the Boy Scouts said, hey, didn't you used to do a haunted house? Can we do like a charity fundraiser? So we said,
That's where it started.
Now, when did you get involved? Did you get involved from the very beginning of doing it at the house, or
about 10 years ago? 10 years ago.
When we started it up,
and that's when I built the coffin.
Okay, so basically,
Ray doesn't have to be in that coffin. I built a big full-size coffin for the skeleton, for bones.
Yep. Yeah, there's a skeleton, or there's a coffin that if you're going through the haunted history tour, actually it's another animatronic. It's a hydraulic, right?
Pneumatic.
Okay.
Yeah, air cylinder.
So. And at the right time, they hit the button and it comes up and does this crazy laugh thing and gets a couple scares sometimes. Usually a lot of chuckles because it's just funny.
It's cute.
That's the thing about the haunted history tours. It's not about scaring you so much as it's about having fun.
Yes. There's some scary stuff, but I mean we crack ourselves up because I'll start on Frankenstein because we're right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
There is actually 2 beakers. And what are the names on the beakers?
Abby Normal is
Abby
one of them.
Normal.
And
Hans Delbruck.
Yes.
Scientist and saint.
That one still needs to be broken though.
Yeah, nobody probably in their right mind could ever read it. Maybe they could if they had really good eyesight.
Well, that's what
a few people caught it.
Yeah.
Not often, but out of the 10 years, I think maybe 4.
I keep saying that we need to do like
and switch.
We need to do a real behind the scenes tour, where people can come in, they pay like just a couple bucks, like $2 or whatever, come through like during the daytime and kind of get the backstory behind the haunted history tour because there's so much actual little tidbits that
little stories of the movies and
stuff.
stuff.
Brevard Live when they decided to do a big article on us, they came through and we gave them a backstage pass.
We did the same thing with the
Haunted Lair.
The Haunted Lair,
which were actually really great people.
Yes,
they were great.
I just want to say if you're looking for the more adult scare haunted house, please go check out our friends at the Haunted Lair.
Yes.
Where are they located at?
They are on US 1 and right before. Just north of Robert Conlon.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make you can make a night of it. You can
Japanese
come
restaurant
see us, you can go see them.
The Japanese restaurant on US 1.
Go to the Japanese restaurant.
Go to the Japanese restaurant.
Go down that street.
We advertise for everybody.
Keep going straight. You can't miss it. It's right there. Great people.
They were fantastic. They came in. We did the little guided tour behind the scenes. Kind of showed them how everything works, how the scares work, and stuff like that. Because ours is a lot of animatronics. We focus a lot on animatronics, whereas theirs is more about the actual jump scream. Or the scenes and things like that. So they had a blast, and then they invited us, which unfortunately I was not able to go, but they invited us to go see theirs on Sunday with a behind the scenes kind of thing.
Holy moly!
Yeah, my dad was very impressed. Well, tell us about that. Tell us what that was like.
I'll try not to, just like we're trying not to do, give some
lot
advanced info.
Yeah.
It's 5,000 square foot warehouse.
Wow.
Of haunts.
Their
of scare.
Dressing area and makeup area is as big as our whole maze area.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they got it made. They got it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all
for a local community areas other than Universal. Yeah. They're fantastic.
I would say, because I've never gone. Obviously, I don't have the time. But,
yeah. You act like you're busy in this season. I don't know why.
I would say it's way up on par with Universal, because I've seen clips from when they take the little news girl through there and stuff. Their artwork in there, the way they've, decorated, if you want to call that. It's actually all the fabrication they do for each room area. And they're kind of the same thing. They're movies. So you walk in and you're pretty much immersed in this 10 by 10, 12 by 12 room that is a whole set by itself. And it just goes on and on.
They also had some crew members that actually did the Universal.
Yeah.
Yes, so they got some insider.
Yeah, they had some cast members that did casting actual actors.
And don't they also do something with the high school students? Like, don't high school students get credit and things like that?
They get their volunteering. The volunteering credits.
Which the Haunted History Tour does too. Unfortunately for us, you have to be either 18 or accompanied with an adult if you're going to volunteer with us. So, and by the way, anybody that is interested in volunteering for the Haunted History Tour, later tonight, actually I keep putting it up there anyways, but on the Nerds United in Brevard Facebook page, I do advertise the Haunted History Tour. If you just want to contact us there, let us know that you want to volunteer. We've always got room for people. We always need people because it is volunteer. So there's no money.
Can I volunteer?
No,
if my mommy says it's okay.
No, we don't want you there. You're a little creepy actually. With the whole clown thing and wanting to drive the ice cream truck, we don't really need that kind of.
I still say that's a fantastic business idea.
In case you guys didn't know, Felton and I actually started the Clownocalypse. With our very first podcast, we started talking.
Fault.
Yeah, it is. We started talking about what it would be like to own an ice cream truck and drive around like kind of like Tim Curry from It,
dressed like a creepy clown. And I thought that people would love it, and you would sell a ton of ice cream.
Of clowns from outer space.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
See now I was gonna say
eat candy.
Cotton candy?
Cotton candy anymore. After that, I was just like, I'm done.
If I were to do a scene at our thing, I would want to do the killer clowns from outer space just because I love I love the cotton candy cocoons that they would put these people in. Have you ever seen this, Felton?
I've seen the clips. I've not seen the actual.
You need to watch the whole movie. It's fantastic. They have crazy straws. And they put these people in the cotton candy cocoon, and then they take the crazy straws and they pop it in there like a juice box, and they drink the blood out of them.
It's a smoothie.
It's good sustenance.
It's a smoothie.
That's how clowns survive.
Well, unfortunately, David, it may be a while because just like chainsaws,
I know it's the cheap scare.
A very bad affinity to clowns.
It's the cheap scare. It's not something I actually want to do.
So here's what would be hilarious.
But I would love to do it.
To get some money out of vending. Actually have like an ice cream cooler and set up like a front stand with a creepy clown selling ice cream.
Only if you don't want to sell ice cream.
Exactly.
Oh, you can sell that.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to sell ice cream like that, bud.
I'm going to prove y'all wrong. I'm going to prove everybody wrong. I'm going to open up.
Your girlfriend's going to leave you. She can take all the dogs. She's just.
I just want to see what it does.
Ronald McDonald is sketchy by my standards. I don't know those feet. Just something about them.
But I just. No, the clown thing. I'm not into clowns. I think clowns are creepy.
So what you're telling me is
scare,
that wasn't your profile on clowndating.com?
I'm not going to say that it was or wasn't. I'm just going to say that I've met many interesting and funny people in the past.
That's a real website check.
It's time to start clowning around.
Clown meat? I think maybe it was clown meat. I don't know, but there's an actual clown dating
site. Sounds
delicious,
actually.
Ooh, actually, maybe it's not clown meat. I don't know. There's a clown dating.
Red nose fetish, right?
Yes. Ooh, that's something different.
Get the weasel squeeze.
Oh man. So anyways, back to the podcast.
What?
Not what we're doing after we leave here.
Back to.
So you want to start a clown strip club as well, right? Is that the next?
Oh my god, that's genius!
We'll call it Honkers.
The red noses can be on the man's nip-nips. I went with man.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we could go with that kind of strip club. That's fine.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm open, you know. But so back to the Haunted History Tour. So actually, back to the lair real quick. So yeah, I just want to reiterate the lair. The people there were fantastic. I love the fact that they came out, and it wasn't like a turf war. You know, it wasn't like the Sharks and the Jets. You know, they came out. They were like, hey, you know, we want to check it out. We showed them around, and they were in awe. They were just like, this is awesome. And then, you know, we went to theirs, and again, we were in awe. It's like, this is awesome. And maybe someday we can make like a crazy haunted, you know, baby, you know, with them, and like have like a pet project.
We kind of talked like that when we left there.
Cross pollination.
Yeah.
Like I could totally see my dad and Rick making like an animatronic like set for them where they could have like, you know, maybe like the alien popping out of the chest kind of thing or some kind of cool like, you know.
So is it prove to them that mechanical can be scary too?
So is it more like person driven? The other one they have no animatronics. They have no animatronics.
It's like 100 some odd high school kids.
They got a lot of
crazy.
So they just have sheer force of just having a ton of people.
Well, it's not just that though. From what they're saying, I haven't gone, but it's the
art. Quality.
Let
me rephrase quality art.
We saw them doing their makeup because that's when we came before their show, the Saturday night show or Sunday night. Sunday night show. And they were getting their costumes and makeup done. And when they came out, it was like, holy shit! I mean, this was like serious professional, you know, makeup that was on these people and costumes. And I'm sure, you know, we've had run-ins with teenagers because they get nutso and they got a little out of control. But this whole group of high school kids, I mean, they snapped right in line, got all in line for the picture, and it was like boot camp for scary.
And that's awesome. I mean, that just shows.
Cool. That's amazing.
You know?
That just shows the level of, you know, the level of quality, you know, that they put on. And I honestly think I see the same with our production. I mean, you know, everybody when it's time to go, we're ready to go. You know, everybody gets to their spot, to their position. You know, there's no goofing off because we can't afford it.
Between them and us, there's no competition. I mean, they're one type of haunt compared to our type of haunt, and they do great, and we do great.
And that's what's great is that, you know, it's not the same thing. You know, so there's no turf war, and I really like that.
No turf war whatsoever.
That's one thing though that Elise and I kept going back and forth. Like the first night we were there, we're just like, holy crap. This is really well organized. Like, this is awesome. We were like, because we've never done anything like that before. I think the last time I did any sort of haunted anything, I went on a haunted hayride when I was like 5 or 6 in Maine, in the woods in freezing cold October when there's no ambient lighting, so everything's just pitch black in the woods anyway. And Maine's an incredibly creepy place anyway. If you ever get a chance to go, just go in the woods at night and you're going to be terrified. And you know,
that's where Stephen King's from, right? Like,
yeah,
he's just polluted the whole state.
Well, you know, which came first, the chicken or Stephen King?
Exactly.
I think probably the state was a little bit creepy too.
I don't know. He's pretty old.
I just remember going on this hayride, sitting on the back of a truck bed, and absolutely, I think the first guy that popped out with a chainsaw, I hid at my father and mother's feet, and that was it. I saw hay the rest of the time.
That's the thing that I love about what my dad and Rick have done is they've created a haunted house that doesn't use the cheap, you know. And I'm not trying to knock any haunted house that does this.
We
you know,
introduced them to Halloween.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you got a kid, you want them to come out, you want to have a good time, or you're just, you know, you're an adult even, and you want to have a good time without the cheap scare. You know, I mean, we could do chainsaws all day. You know, chainsaw scares are you know, classic. You know, it's the sound of it is a kind of a primal thing. It scares the shit out of you. You know, that kind of thing. And we could do killer clowns all day. We could do all these different things that are the normal
clowns.
trope.
We have a little bit of here and there and there.
Yeah. So. Well, but there isn't that though. There isn't that just cheap reliance on your classic. You know, I think the closest thing. There's two things that are the closest thing to maybe your classic cheap scare that we do, and that is the Dracula part and the werewolf, in my opinion.
And Dawn of the Dead.
I'm sorry, so 3.
And Skelly.
Well, to jump out and scare you.
Yeah, but you got to have a little bit of that because you got to get the blood.
But Skelly though is the definition of it though, because you're taking advantage of a psychological part of the brain where if all of a sudden. And that goes like way back apparently to our evolution. I saw like a TED talk. It's the only reason I know this is that if all of a sudden a face appears in front of you, it startles you, and that's like apparently some type of evolutionary reaction.
Yeah.
And that's what most of these haunted houses rely upon for the scare.
Yeah.
Right.
But my favorite though is the end. That one, that just because where I'm positioned, I get to watch that every single time. I'm just like,
well, the best part about that is by Calypso's Shack.
Yeah.
Yes, the dancing
I
skeleton.
love that. I love it.
The best part about that is you know something's going to happen.
Yeah,
You
and you know
that-
it.
You
You
know
know
it.
it's there.
You know it's going to happen.
That's where I got the best scare for the people at the haunted lair that one night.
Don't give
I just
too much
happened to
away
look
here,
down.
'cause
No,
it's,
no.
It's a cheesy, cheap one, but it's so cool.
But
Yeah.
I'm not telling you where it is.
Oh, yeah, we won't tell you where it is.
But now, Phil, you and your girlfriend went through. Elise was on the podcast last time.
Yeah.
In case you guys are listening continually, which would be awesome. And if not, this is your first time. Well, then go back and listen. Jesus,
Welcome.
We
welcome to the show.
We have a whole back catalog now that you can enjoy.
This is episode 10, by the way.
This is episode
10?
Now, is this including
10
zero?
October,
Is this
that's
including
good.
zero?
I have no idea at this point. You've now confused me because I
Yeah.
didn't know. I forgot we called
Well,
that
numbers
zero.
are hard to begin with.
So
Numbers are
maybe
hard.
it's chronologically, as of right now, uploaded to YouTube 10.
Okay.
My numbering system is flawless at this point.
Absolutely.
It
As long as you can use your
wasn't
fingers.
at
So,
start.
what was your impression when you went through? Like, what did you know?
I loved it.
You loved it.
I loved it. I loved the skeleton display. I love the Frankenstein.
Frankenstein is still my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
part.
Mm-hmm.
The lab looks amazing.
Your
Smart.
cheesy jokes.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one was the pool. I don't want to give it away.
No, yeah. Don't
what
give it
you
away,
said
but
there,
Yes. That's my favorite.
I cracked
line.
up.
That's my
and
favorite line.
I
And
love
you have to understand, like, every tour guide is a little different too.
Yeah.
So, like, if you do come out to the Haunted History Tour, come back more than once. Come back different years, come back different days. If you get a different tour guide each time, because every tour guide's a little different. They have a little different approach. Like, we have one tour guide that kind of is almost like a Charlie Chaplin, kind of thing. We've got one that's kind of. She's like an Amazon. She's a big. She's a big
Tall.
she's tall and but she's got a small voice. So it's just and she makes it fun.
Well, there's no way you could see everything, every detail
The first time.
because there's like little things that are hidden, like in the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look for them.
Yep.
But there's things hidden all over the place that are just awesome to look at. And you just can't take it in all at once. It's worth coming through. It's like, how many people have gone through the Haunted Mansion more than once? Raise your hand.
Lord.
Oh, wait, we can't see hands in here? No, sorry.
Yeah.
Just nobody raised their hand. Just kidding.
That is probably one of my favorite attractions.
It is.
And just for
We still
those
want to
reasons.
do the old elevator when you go in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Make it look like you're going down and down, but you're not.
I just wonder how close to plagiarism that really
Well, we talked about
It's a
trying to do
non-for-profit.
something like
You can.
that.
It's a non-for-profit. We can
but
do all that.
But that would be great at the entrance. A cute.
I was
elevator
thinking
where
more
we
like
can
a
go.
coal mine
Good
or
enough,
something,
Yeah, that would be
Go down an elevator shaft in a coal mine.
as long as it plays that coal mine song, like the working
Actually,
in
how
a
would you
coal
want to
mine.
go back to caveman days where lightning was the most scary thing on the planet?
Well, that's kind of how we start, though.
I know, that's what I was saying. How would you introduce somebody into that?
I'm pretty sure saber-toothed tigers were pretty scary.
Well,
Well, wait,
food.
did they coexist? I don't know what they're saying now about
Yeah.
the coexistence.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
Maybe woolly mammoths then.
Yeah.
Virtually, those must have been a giant hairy elephant. I'd
Oh, yeah.
shit my
But see,
pants
that was
if I saw
food,
that.
so
Yeah,
even if you're scared of it, you still had to eat it.
I'm
Lightning
still
just-
scared. I'm scared,
you
afraid
you
of cattle
piss
too.
your pants, you're done. Bam, and then there's fire sitting there. Whoa!
That's
So you
why
basically, what you're saying is you want a lightning strike right when they walk in, like actual
Well, that's
lightning that
really-
that starts a fire. So, all right, so now it's become a very dangerous tour.
well, here's the thing, though. I only eat things that have tried to kill me.
Oh,
right?
I understand.
Now, an alligator's never killed me, but that's a predator.
Yeah.
Right.
I was actually in a damn cattle stampede when I
Mm-hmm.
was about 8 years old. And yeah, I have no problem eating burgers because I'm like, damn things, you tried to kill me, you bastard, you're delicious.
Honestly, I got really sick from a plant at one point in time. That's why I'm doing a mainly plant-based diet.
So there you go, you
they
get
tried to
yeah.
kill me, so now I
Plants
just
tried to
eat
kill you.
just fruits and vegetables all day. Like I'm
Yeah.
not letting those bastards get to me again. Like it's not happening.
You know, they have like I was just I for some reason saw this and I'm like, oh, I want to try it. It's this meatless burger. I know this is way off on a tangent.
This is what we do.
But this is allegedly, it bleeds when you bite into it.
What the
But
hell?
they don't say anywhere on the website what exactly to hell it's made of. So all these jokes about Soylent Green. Sure.
Beets in there.
Which beet burgers are actually pretty
created.
good.
It's actually a living being. It's a living plant-based being that...
Why have you created me?
Please kill me.
Just kill me and eat me. And they reclone it every single time.
Every single time.
Past the point it was at the last time, so it has all the memories.
I remember that piece of gristle there.
Man,
I chewed that last time.
That's terrible. That just got really dark.
I wonder how many GMOs are involved in this whole process.
Apparently, there's no GMOs. It's gluten-free. There's no soy. So I'm like, well, that's everything I need.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
and all they sell is the beef crumbles at Walmart around here. So I'm like, I don't want salty beef crumbles. I want the meat. Give me the meat.
Yeah.
Gotta go to Whole Foods.
All right. So
Sorry.
That's what we do on the podcast. It's usually a tangent. Yeah. We usually get on a tangent about something. Yeah. Beef
Gonna be my new
crumbles.
name on the second podcast.
I think they should be. Well, that should
Go
be
by
your
Beef
stripper
Crumbles.
name. Beef Crumbles. Coming to the stage, it's Beef
Crumbles.
Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Beef Crumbopoulos.
So, all right, let's go around the room real quick and just give like a suggested movie for people to watch during this season, since this is Halloween, since this is pretty much one of my.
We got the
favorites.
same one. Only one.
What is the only
No,
one?
I can say maybe two, but let's go with one. I like
It's the
American.
mandate before a specific set can be constructed, and it is
Yes.
Say it together.
Young
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Or is it
I really
Frankenstein?
almost thought it was going to be The Young and the Restless.
Yes,
I was
yeah.
like, what?
They watch a bunch of episodes.
I also
what?
watching-
Do we
I also
marathon
like
this?
watching
Like,
American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
Oh, that's
I watched
pretty
that one at
good.
home, the original one, not the two, just the first one.
What you got, Joe?
Before we got to Dr.
well,
Pepper.
I'm obviously a little bit biased.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
I've been watching, and I haven't yet to watch the whole thing yet, but I was actually probably going to tonight. Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
I love
watched that
Beetlejuice.
one.
I
It's so
watched it,
cute.
yeah.
I love his
that
performance. And
I
Michael
think
Keaton.
anything Tim Burton really.
Yeah.
Is
Michael
probably,
Keaton to this day, I don't know if you know, but he kind of took a divergence into doing like really good character actor direction stuff. And he was in a movie, and this was kind of lauded as a Christmas film, but it really wasn't. It just happened to take place during the winter time.
Yeah.
No, check for it. It was called The Merry Gentleman. Okay, and in it he was a hitman. And the first 15 minutes of this movie, and I know I've gone off in this rant talking to you before, he just, you really feel like what his life is as a character. There are no words. He just, oh my God, you're watching him suffer through his existence, and he's obviously disillusioned with his choices in life, killing people. And the first 15
Which will
minutes of that,
happen.
it is a million times better than that monstrosity that Tom Cruise was in, Jack Reacher, where they spent the first hour of that film expositionally talking about how badass Jack Reacher was. When they did it,
And why does
so
he have to
well.
tell you? Why does he have to give you the laundry list of what's going to happen? Like that kid's annoying. Like,
Here's what's going to happen, because I'm not intelligent enough to figure out what's going to happen.
Two things are going to happen. First off, you're going to pick up the phone.
But here's the
then I'm
thing.
going to finish my coffee. It's like, what? I don't care. Like,
Whoever directed this film obviously was a huge, and I mean massive, WWF fan. Because that really, think about it.
Oh
think
my
of
God!
the hype.
Did they all talk in like wrestler form?
They did. It was like, this is what's going to happen, brother.
Let me tell you
That
something.
phone's going to ring and you're going to get arrested.
Macho Man Randy Savage is going to come to the coffee house.
You said that Rebecca was going to be
that?
safe.
What's that?
Reacher. You're talking about Reacher, right?
Jack Reacher, Jack Reacher
I
around.
just watched that the other day. I wasn't
It
really.
was
Horrible
awful.
movie.
Great
Horrible
action. Some of the action was good,
No,
but
it's just
Keanu Reeves
horrible.
tops it with his John Wick.
Yeah, he didn't
I
say
mean-
he didn't say a damn thing. You don't kill a man's puppy. You just don't do it.
Oh.
Like whatever you
No.
do, you don't do it. And I guess they're doing like they're doing a sequel to it. So I guess
Yeah.
maybe he got a cat or something this time.
Yeah,
And-
it's actually his
or
parakeet.
It's a hamster.
His parakeet.
Somebody came in and killed my fish.
His,
they overfed him.
his algae culture that he had been so hard trying to maintain. Somebody put a little bit too much salt in it and it wrecked the pH and it dies.
Nice.
I don't know if that's
So
the proper
for me,
analogy.
at Halloween, I actually have a bunch of movies that I have to watch every Halloween. I have to. But for me, my favorite one to watch, and this is, I don't know why I've made it more.
Is it The Nightmare Before Christmas?
No, I do.
It's
watch
the
that.
ultimate contradiction.
I do watch it though, and I watch it at Christmas
Sorry.
and Halloween. But no, The Crow actually, I fucking love The Crow.
Oh,
Crow,
my God.
yeah.
Like the whole Hell Night thing, like all that. Fire it up, fire it up. I have to watch it at least once, and the soundtrack for that movie is just amazing. the fact that they do like nowadays it looks horrible to us, but that they had to do the plastered on computer animated.
Well, it was Mark
kind
Dacascos, wasn't it, who played the stand-in at the end of the movie?
I believe so. Yeah.
And that's why another.
Well, it wasn't even the end of the movie because it was halfway through filming that it happened. So there's a lot of you don't see a whole lot of Brandon Lee's face close up for a good portion of that movie. Like a lot of the action scenes, it's like. When you do see it, it's kind of bad. It kind of jumps a little bit. You're like, ooh, what's going on there?
They should remaster it in HD.
But I bring this up because one of my favorite parts in that movie is the part where they're cruising around in that that badass. I think it was a Charger, if I'm not mistaken. The gang of miscreants that are,
the gang of miscreants would run in their Charger.
In the roundabout Charger. I believe it's a Charger that they're cruising around in, right? But they're all just fire it up, and they're all just going crazy, right? But the song that's playing is the most mellow, slow song ever. It's the Stone Temple Pilots song, and it's the Take Time, I believe, is the name of the song, or something like that, And it's the song is just so mellow and just relaxed, and they're cruising around the streets Arr! I'm like, whoever did the soundtrack for this movie was not paying attention when they put this song in there, because if you actually listen to the soundtrack, there's some really hardcore badass metal songs in there, but they've got this slow, just melancholy song while they're cruising around.
But sometimes that's the best, though.
Yeah,
I found
I do like when they don't add up with the
when they've had a symphony or some orchestrated classical music in the background during an action scene.
Yeah,
I always thought, man,
Fifth
that
Element.
fits.
Yes. Okay,
that was Patrick's
but that was done on purpose.
I know,
and that was beautiful.
It was so awesome.
Boondock Saints.
Yes,
one of my favorite scenes.
Oh my god!
And they've got no audio, and it's just Willem Dafoe and some orchestrated music in the background, and he's describing what happened. Oh man, I was blown away.
Yeah, I mean it's there when it's used properly, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
This was an improper use though. You don't realize it the first couple times you watch it, but now that I've seen it 100 times, when I watch it, when it comes up, I'm like, why are we cruising around going crazy? Because they're jamming to it on their own radio. It's not it's playing ominously. They actually put the song on and fire it up. And they're driving around going crazy, and I'm like, this doesn't fit. I don't know.
Wait a minute. Do you actually see what they put in?
No, you're right. I don't see them put the CD in the CD player.
That was a post-production, someone made a stylistic choice and said, this is what we're going to play on this scene. Or they had a copyright fall through on a song.
Plus, it also has one of my favorite lines in it. That whole, I got an impression for you. Caw, bang, fuck, I'm dead. The whole, just stupid, I just love that part. I don't know why.
No.
But
somebody pulled their copyright.
Well, it takes place at Halloween. It takes place on Hell Night. They get killed the night before Halloween, or on Halloween, and because they're supposed. No, it's the night before.
Do we know who's going to be the Crow in the remake?
I don't want to talk about it, to be quite honest, because I don't want to see the remake because it's going to piss me off. I'm tired of these remakes. But we've talked about this before.
Yeah,
I can't stand it.
I forgot.
They're talking about doing who is it that's playing Aquaman again?
Yeah, but
they're talking about him doing the Crow.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
I mean, he's cool. Whatever.
He's got an edgy face.
He's a big jack dude. I like the fact that the Crow is this kind of skinny musician guy, starving artist kind of guy who he's not a badass, but then he becomes a badass when the Crow brings him back to
life.
Nerd. Yeah, exactly. He was living up for us nerds. Yes. See, there you go, Rick. That's why you're on the podcast today. So
when the Morgan brings you back to life.
Yes.
Isn't that Irish mythology, right? The Morgan's the battle crow of the field, and she collects the soul.
On this one.
Yeah, all right.
So I think we're probably at that time right now. So I want to thank you all for listening to the Nub Podcast again. I really want to thank George and Rick for coming in here and telling us about the Haunted History Tour.
It's fantastic.
Please, even if you don't look it up on the Nub site, please go to Haunted History Tour on Facebook. It's Haunted History Tour in Palm Bay. Check us out. The dates are on there. We're going to be doing it this weekend coming up, which is the 20...
If only I had a calendar.
29th and the 31st.
Yeah.
And it's $5 a person. It starts at 7:30, although we usually start at 7:45. But come out. It supports so many good things.
That's part of the anticipation. You got to have a line of people
all getting build it up
itchy
really.
and When do we go? When do we go?
Yeah.
You can come and meet Felton.
In at 7:30.
Felton in the Merce.
Felton will be dressed up in either a Beetlejuice or.
I think I've got.
Jones
my secret surprise is I've got really some good makeup coming tomorrow.
Okay, so you'll be completely butt ass naked.
I will be butt ass naked.
Yes.
And
so get your picture
covered
taken
in
with Felton,
green.
butt ass naked, covered in green. And then I am one of the tour guides there. You can come in there and ask for the Merce. They'll know who that is. I'm going to tell them at the door.
You have a really interesting name.
Oh, it's
Gentle.
Well, no, tell us.
Gentle.
No, we're not talking about that right now.
I like that.
No, that's.
Is that spelled genital? Or
Genitals or gentle.
That'll never get old.
No, what is my name as the tour guide
Gilzer? The Gozerian?
Goes with the Gozerian.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So that's what you did. You did say goes with it.
Goes with the Gozerian.
All right.
That's the HHT hierarchy.
Yes.
Yeah.
David, my son, is the man. I mean, he is Gozer the Gozerian, and we have Zool, which is our gatekeeper, and Vince Glorto, which is the keymaster. And
So,
now you're going to laugh at this, but I was at a social gathering a couple way months back, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm
there was
on the inside.
there was a guy, and I swear to you, he looked like Rick Moranis.
Yes.
No, he looked like Lord Vigo.
Oh,
like
my
a
God.
young Lord Vigo. And I'm like,
That's
listen,
even
man,
better.
I'm not trying to insult you. This is entirely. I just want to
So
make
you're
you
going
know.
Ghostbusters 2 on us. Yeah.
You got to understand. This is a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
You look like Lord Vigo. And he's like, he's a young guy, so he's like, what? The bad guy from Ghostbusters 2. And I show him the picture, and he's like, oh yeah, I do kind of look like that. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, you do. I'm freaking out.
Yeah, just so you know, the nicknames come from Ghostbusters, in case you guys didn't catch it. But a lot of people that would actually listen to this podcast will hopefully got that.
That's something we got right, finally.
Yeah. Oh my God, we didn't have to look it up this time. Well, let's be honest.
Paul Giamatti?
I don't want
Paul
to talk about
Giamatti?
it. I don't want to talk about it. You're the one that usually gets it right. I'm the one that's saying all the stupid crap.
I talk out my ass all the time, though. I mean,
Then we have to look it up. But I'd like to thank you guys for coming and talking on the podcast. I really hope you guys had a good time.
Yep,
Sure did.
And please come and check out the Haunted History Tour. And this podcast will hopefully be up tonight. Wink, wink, hint, hint, so we can get it going as soon as possible. And we'll talk to you later. This is the Merce.
It's Felton.
George.
And
No, the keymaster.
Vince Glorto, keymaster.
and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.